Welcome back to Online English class. This is Level 1, Lesson 20, which starts on June 10th. This is Part 10. This is Part 2. So in this video, we're going to work on occupations. So we're working on jobs in the past, the present, and the future. We are also learning skills and question words. You are probably watching this video between June 10th and June 21st. This video was filmed on June 6, 2020. Okay, so let's start with occupations, jobs. So we're going to be in Unit 8. So we have server, bus person, cashier, cook, electrician, nurse, nursing assistant, and construction worker. So let's identify these workers. We have cooks here. Cooks are people who make food. A server. A server is someone who brings you food and they take your order at a restaurant. A bus person. A bus person is someone who cleans the tables when you finish eating. They wash the dishes too. Bus person. Cashier. A cashier is the person who takes your money. Cashiers work in restaurants, stores, basically everywhere you need to pay money, there's a cashier. Electrician. 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 An electrician is someone who fixes electric things. So they fix lights, wires in the walls, TVs. They fix anything with electricity. A nurse and a nursing assistant. This is a nurse, and a nursing assistant is someone who helps the nurse. Construction worker. This is a construction worker. He's wearing a hard hat or safety helmet. Okay, so on the next page we have bus person, cashier, doctor, nurse, receptionist, and server. So, let's see, are these people right here? Yes, they are. Are they? Okay, so where do these people work? Do they work in the hospital or do they work in the restaurant? A bus person. A bus person cleans tables. They work in a restaurant. A cashier. A cashier handles money. They work in a restaurant. A doctor works in the hospital. Nurse works in the hospital. Receptionist. The receptionist is the person who helps you when you walk into the hospital. They say, "Hello, how can I help you? What's your name? What's the problem?" That's a receptionist. Receptionist. Receptionist works in the hospital. Server works in the restaurant. Okay, so let's go to this page. Now we're talking about skills. Skills are things you can do. So this is a painter. A painter can paint. A salesperson can sell things. A carpenter can build things. A carpenter is a construction worker. A gardener can take care of plants. A child care worker can take care of children. An auto mechanic, or just a mechanic, can fix cars. We use the word can. We use the word can when we want to say our skills. Skills are things you can do. So we ask questions like, can you speak Spanish? Can she speak Spanish? Yes, she can. Can he drive a truck? No, he can't. Can he fix a car? Yes, he can. Can she paint a house? No, she can't. So these are skills. We use the word can and can't to talk about skills. Okay, so let's talk about to be in the past. So when I say, what is your job right now? We use to be in the present. We say, I am a nurse. But if we want to know about the past, we use the past tense. So we say was or were. So let's see. Number 1. This person is Amy Cho. From 2010 to present, she is a nurse. From 2005 to 2010, she was a teacher. Present means now. So we say, she was a teacher before. Now she is a nurse. She is a manager now. She was a cashier before. This is for Jane. From 2015 to present to now, she is a manager. From 2010 to 2015, she was a cashier. Now we have John and Jack. We have 2 people. So, because we have 2 people, we use they. From 2016 to present, they are electricians. From 2010 to 2016, they were students. They were students before. Now they are electricians. Okay, so now we're going to talk about jobs in the past tense. So let's start with questions. When we have questions, we can use do or does in a question. And if we use do or does, then in the past tense we change do or does to did. The verb after did does not change. So we have, do you empty the trash? Did you empty the trash? For negatives, we use don't and doesn't. If we use negatives in the past, we change don't or doesn't to didn't. The verb after didn't does not change. She doesn't empty the trash. She didn't empty the trash. Now, this is different for to be. To be doesn't need do. For all other verbs, for every verb but not to be, we use do. For questions and negatives, we use do. But to be is different. To be does not need do. So we can say, are you a nurse? When we ask questions, we don't need the word do if we have to be. We don't need it. We can just say, are you a nurse? Same thing for negatives. For a negative sentence, you are not a nurse. For negative sentences, we don't need do. We can just say you are not a nurse. So if we write this in the past tense, it's easy. All we do is change the verb. So, are you a nurse becomes, well, let's see. To be is irregular. And then the verb we're looking for is are. Are becomes were. So we say, were you a nurse? Were you a nurse? And then this sentence, you are not a nurse. You were not a nurse. So that's how we write to be in the past tense. We just changed the verb here. Are becomes were. Am or is becomes was. So we can say in 2017, I was not a cook. I was a server. In 2017, I was not a cook. I was a server. Okay, so another way to ask, what job do you have? So we can ask, what is your job? We can ask, what is your job? Another way to ask is, what do you do? Or, what does she do? What do you do? What does she do? It's another way to ask, what is your job? What is her job? Okay, so we can say, she is a mechanic. She is a mechanic. She can fix cars. She is a mechanic. She can fix cars. So we use is here to mean that she is a mechanic now. She can fix cars. Her skill is fixing cars. Okay. So we can also ask, how long was she a mechanic? How long was she a mechanic? How long here, we want to know the time. So we're asking how many years, how many months was she a mechanic? So we can say she was a mechanic from 2012 to now. She was a mechanic from 2012 to now. Or we can say she is a mechanic from 2012 to now. We can also say she was a mechanic for 8 years. We can also say she started, past tense, she started. She started in 2012. So, these are all answers for the question, how long was she a mechanic? She was a mechanic from 2012 to now. She was a mechanic for 8 years. She started in 2012. Now we will talk about the near future. We're talking about the future, but it's soon. When we use the near future, we use the expression to be going to. And then the word after this expression is important. If the word after to be going to is a place, then the sentence is in the present. If the word after to be going to is a verb or an action, then the sentence is in the future. So we have this sentence, I am going to the store. So we have the expression, I am going to. The word after I am going to is the store. The store is a place. So this sentence is in the present. The next sentence we have is, I am going to go to the store. We have the expression, I am going to. The word after the expression is go. So this sentence is in the future. I'm going to go to the store. And remember, this is the same as I will. So we can say I will eat, or we can say I am going to eat. Same thing. And to be is a verb. So when we have I am going to be, because be is a verb, we know the sentence is in the future. So let's use I am going to be when we talk about jobs. We can say, from 2015 to 2019, I was a bus person. From 2015 to 2019, I was a bus person. Because this is in the past, we use the past tense. We say I was a bus person. Now, I am a, what's the word called? Child care worker. Now, I am a child care worker. We use I am because we are talking about the present. Now let's talk about, let's say in October. In October, I am going to be a nurse. In October, I am going to be a nurse. We use I am going to be for when we talk about the future. So from 2015 to 2019, I was a bus person. Now I am a childcare worker. In October, I am going to be a nurse. So we use I am going to be when we talk about the future, because we have the expression to be going to. The word after this expression, be, is a verb, so we know the sentence is in the future. Let's write a new one. When I was 16, when I was 16, this is in the past because I'm using the word was. When I was 16, I got a job in a restaurant. When I was 16, I got a job in a restaurant. I was a server. So, we use the word got to mean I start the job. I get a job, I start the job, I got a job. I got a job in a restaurant when I was 16. I was a server. Now, I am an electrician. Now, I am an electrician. An electrician is someone who fixes electricity. They fix machines, appliances, wires in the wall, lights. So we can say, I can fix refrigerators, I can fix air conditioners, I can fix lights in a house. I am an electrician. And now let's talk about the future. In 2 years, I am going to be a mechanic. In 2 years, I am going to be a mechanic. So, in the past, when I was 16, I got a job in a restaurant. I was a server. Now, I am an electrician. In 2 years, I am going to be a mechanic. A mechanic is someone who can fix cars. So we use to be going to be when we talk about the future. We can also say, in 2 years, I will be a mechanic. In 2 years, I will be a mechanic. These two sentences are in the future.